celebrate 500 chapters of Fairy Tale, this video will be the video without the trademark sunglasses on. Then again, everyone has already seen through them anyway. So yeah, 500 chapters for Fairy Tale. Although the cover is very nice, as I said in my spoiler, it's not exactly that strange. Although we do see Yuvia in this picture, which obviously was a confirmation that, yeah, Yuvia survived, because she did indeed survive. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not gonna watch a single other review of this chapter, because I know what they're all gonna say. They're gonna be so mad, they're gonna be so pissed off, and they're all gonna say, why do they waste such emotional scenes? Because the only thing I agree on is that sometimes, don't get me wrong, I even for a fanatic fairy tale fan such as myself, I believe that when fairy tale does emotional scenes, they really work. For example, that Ur sacrifice, Ultir's confession, the time stop, and even the dragons parting. That was one of the most emotional moments, and they all worked. But I can agree that sometimes it feels like Hiro Mashima-san is wasting emotional scenes when he just saves them right and the other. But then again, you should also ask yourself, didn't you beg her to be saved last time? I mean, I know I did. So, in essential, Hiro Mashima is thinking just like you. He's and me, thinking that, nah, this is just gonna happen. So, in a late introduction, it's the Angry Anime Fan, the Despair Reviewer, here to bring you the Fairy Tale chapter and everything that people are gonna criticize in it, or anything else. Turns out that Brandish took Lucy and Natsu away because she doesn't want to fight them, but she's not gonna spare all the rest, which of course is not gonna float the very good boat with Lucy and Natsu. In essential, what Brandish is saying to them, I'll spare only you two, but the rest of your friends will die. I mean, she is incredibly naive, is thinking they will all be okay with that. After all, this is fairy tale. Little do they know that Brianna, no, not Brianna. Have I already forgotten her name? Diamara is watching in her sexy spandex, and she's still clicking her teeth, which she realizes what Brandish is negotiating with them with, so she is thinking she is betrayed. Also, it's not confirmed, but when she does click with her teeth, I'm actually beginning to wonder, does time... it seems like time doesn't stop, but then again, it's not really confirmed if it does. Because if you think about it, she has one of the most story-breaking powers of all the Spring and 12. So, and there is no one here who can stop time, at least not yet. So I wonder, did her power of stopping time vanish, or is that just a thing? Because she has a character tick of always clicking her teeth. And of course, Brandish believes this war is already over, and then we are switched to despair scenes as both Elfman, Lysana, and even Mira are struggling to get, and also Minerva and Rouge did not like that, mind you, because they are not... Fairy Tale is not meant to struggle. They are meant to struggle a little bit, but they are not meant to fall into despair. Of course, Grey, fueled with anger, faces off against Invale, and as we all know from the power of feelings, nothing can stop someone when they are consumed with rage. And so Grey punches Invale so hard that he flies right into a wall. As Invale it shows a triumph card of creating an armor made of pure absolute zero ice. He calls an ice from the depth of the underworld itself. Grey tries to break apart Grey's body, but Grey instead turns the table around on him by combining the rage he feels and his own molding magic. He actually steals the frost of the ice from Invel's armor and shatters it by making it his own. He's called it Ice Devil's Seraph Destruction Fist. And Natsu still argue with Brandish, saying that Brandish may say that the Spring 12 is terrifying, but she has no idea how terrifying the Spring 12 is. And that is actually true. Brandish brings up the point that all the pathetic display on that island. But then again, if you think about it, they were only intimidated by her magic. So they didn't have time to counter. And if there's something we have learned from Fairy Tail, is that Fairy Tail turned their blade into faith into blades. After all, in real life, people don't believe in each other. So then suddenly Nineheart appears. Apparently been the reason for his black eyes that we saw last time is because Elaine enchanted his technique somehow, which still doesn't explain why he is though. But then, even though Brandish says she's negotiating, Nineheart unleashes some kind of whirlwind magic that is so powerful that not even Brandish can shrink her. But then shrink him. But it's then that Natsu appears, and despite almost being torn, he one-hit KOs Nineheart right in the face, which I think a lot of people also not gonna like. In fact, the scenes from when Grey did a very powerful attack on Invel and Natsu doing his destructional fist, they almost look the same. I guess that's why the title is called Fire and Ice. So, but you have to realize one thing. Even you skeptics and haters have to realize one thing. And that is the fact that although it's not confirmed if Nineheart is completely knocked out yet, we should presume he is, and we should all also say this: Nineheart had a powerful magic, but that was all he had. He had not a single bit of the durability. In fact, it's almost argued: isn't Brandish the same? She has enormous magic, but she doesn't have durability. In fact, all of the many Springhams holds this. Most of the lower ones have high magic, they just don't have the defense. Only Agil, Dimara, Augusto, and I think someone else are noted to be very resistant. So of course, Brandish is just shocked that she cannot understand how someone is that strong. And it's then that we actually switch to Juvia, and it's turned out that she's saved. And here is where people are really gonna complain again about the emotional scene being wasted and blah 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 blah. But also because, but the thing is, people are still gonna call this a Deus Ex Machina. But I'm, for one, is gonna say it's least explained. At least she didn't wake up like that. In fact, I don't even understand why people complain about why Gajeel was spared. I mean, it made for me that made perfect sense. He was almost taken to the underworld, but the magic disrupted that. The only thing that did not make sense is that we clearly saw him go into the underworld. So that is not what explained why the magic did it. And also, this is apparently thanks to Charlie's premonition and when this healing power that she saved, which another people are also gonna say doesn't make sense because it was almost, practically confirmed that Juvia died during that moment. So, but I for one just believe when these magic powers were just that powerful. It's then the final of this action-packed chapter ends as Invel lies defeated and extremely bruised from Gray's anger. He says that his fate is something of misfortune and heartache, as he reveals to Gray the real identity of END, and that is Natsu. The cruel revelation will be the rift that tears apart an irreplaceable friendship. Indeed, right? And so thus the chapter ends. I liked the small action action, and I wanted Julia to live. Okay? Someone that's sexy, and most of all, Gray has suffered enough. He needed to at least have some loved one still survive. But now he hear that his closest rival, that's almost also his closest friend, is the demon he has always hated. Yeah, that's definitely not gonna bring some happiness to the table. But an up and coming chapter is called Mary and Randy. After all, they called Dimara called Brandish Randy, well, Brandish called Diamara Mari. So I guess it's gonna be some kind of battle between them, or is it gonna be something else? Because Natsu did say that Brandish could take her saving moment and shove it up her ass. Well, almost said something like that, because he's not gonna watch him. He didn't ask her to save him. So yeah, what's gonna happen? No idea. All in all, I liked it, but I have a feeling I was the only one who liked this chapter. Again, I'm not gonna watch a single other reviewer of this because I know what they're all gonna say. It was such crap. But the thing is, that cover page, that almost seemed to tell me who are gonna survive, and that would have been perfect unless unless it wasn't for the fact that mm, that the first master Mavis is there. Because Mavis, I believe Mavis must be someone who must die. Why? Because I feel like not only because her era has ended, because she needs to do an heroic sacrifice, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. And also, Luxus was not on that cover, which made me scared. I was actually beginning to believe. So, are you telling me Luxus is gonna die? All in all about this death in Fairy Tail. It's true. In war, people always die. And people criticize the Naruto war for practically only one mm, big great character, named character died. So people are gonna complain at the same time if all of Fairy Tail survive, then it's gonna be bullshit. Which even I can agree, that can be a little bit bullshit. But then again, this is not reality. In reality, people doesn't even believe in themselves. So I don't even know why people complain. Have they lost faith in themselves that much? All in all, enough complaining, right? And I know the fact that you're gonna dislike this. So give me your thoughts if you have any. And also, who do you really wanna? No, I'm not gonna say that because I know what you're gonna say. Just give me your thoughts if you have any.